Following the news that anti-Semitic chanting could be heard during last Sunday's Tottenham-West Ham game, many both on and off the pitch are questioning the use of the title Yid Army by some Tottenham fans. Some Spurs fans say they use the term as a badge of honour, but given last week's incident at White Hart Lane and last Thursday's anti-Semitic attack on Tottenham fans in Rome, should Spurs fans take pride in the term Yid Army?
Football at the moment is quite volatile to do with the fans, and perhaps a club identifying themselves with a religion when they're not necessarily that religion is not the right way to go. And perhaps with football we should identify more with the colours of your kit or your mascot or something like that.
I don't think it's the most clever thing to call yourself, but I mean, you have to look at it in the context of people using it as a defense, like, no, we can call them, it's okay for us to call them, I mean, all these abusive things because they are calling themselves it, but it has nothing to do with it.
Well, I suppose it's fundamentally linked into the history of the area, like North London. I don't know if you can kind of dictate to people what they call themselves as a football fan group. I mean, there shouldn't be an expectation that being called Jewish is a negative thing.
It's a slant against Jewish people. If you speak to like Jewish people on the street, the average Jewish person, they'll be saying that everyone that used the word Yid is basically being racist.
I think it's not polite to refer themselves as Yid because might be offensive to some people.
I think they should be more careful. I think there's no excuse for racial abuse or even stereotyping people or even saying that they're a particular race because it just stirs up more anger.
Those against the term argue that it encourages anti-Semitism and attacks like last Thursday's in which Spurs fan Ashley Mills was stabbed ahead of a Tottenham-Lazio match.
If you're saying you're the Yid Army, then you're going to attract like the Nazi supporters that want to retaliate against any sort of Jewish company or Jewish people. So, like you said, like in Lazio, they were attacked because I believe it was attacked by Nazi-based supporters, and what they believed they were attacking was Jewish supporters.
There are so many names that they can use instead of Yid Army.
Another key question is whether the anti-Semitic chanting of rival fans is an indication that they are genuinely anti-Semitic or simply attempting to offend Tottenham fans.
I think they're probably just attempting to offend. I don't think they're really inherently anti-Semitic, but I think it's just a reaction to them calling themselves the Yid Army that it's something to fight against. Also with the big crowd mentality that, you know, you follow the crowd, you go with, if one person chants something, then everyone joins in because they're all part of a group together. It's like a big sort of separate culture to actually what life is like outside.
It's complicated because, for example, in my country, in that kind of chantings, we don't take it seriously because it's another culture, another education. But here in Europe and in England, maybe chants about minorities can cause another different trouble that will be in other country or in other culture.
There's an element of being a banter. What happened at White Hart Lane was taking it way too far, and you have to be aware of as well that it was 3,000 West Ham supporters there and maybe only 50 did it, like those really offensive stuff, which is just despiteful.
I believe some of them are racist, but they don't openly be racist, maybe in their workplace, but when they come to football matches and they want to let it all out, and the actual truth actually comes out in the heat of the moment.
The danger is that there might be people in the crowd who are anti-Semitic or who and those views get taken upon themselves because of the chants, and it only needs one person to take that chant too far or one person to start being violent towards Jewish people for it to be a problem. So I think perhaps they need to think more carefully about their tag.
The UK's Football Association has launched an investigation into last Sunday's anti-Semitic abuse at White Hart Lane Stadium, and many groups, including the Community Security Trust, believe serious action must be taken. Despite a range of opinions, many here today have expressed a desire to stamp anti-Semitism out of football. This is Celestina Ololode for JN1 in London.